So it's safe to say that Chelsea are having quite the good pre-season. They're catching everybody's eye and playing some really good football, and took down one of the Europeans' finest teams in PSG in the Club World Cup final. So today we're going to remaster those tactics inside of this game. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, if you've seen any other pre-season football that you think, Josh, I want to see more of that, make it in the game, drop a comment below. Let's get into it. So then, we're going to start off in the Premier League today with Chelsea, with their new signings as well, and we enjoyed a great season. Now, the one thing I will say about this actual season individually is we scored a bag load of goals, and the addition of João Pedro is going to be a big addition to why that did happen. He's such a good player, and it was really only the matter of time until he did get a big club move, and do you know what? I think Chelsea have got the right option in picking him up. Alongside of him, who had a great season, of course, you've got Nkunku, Cole Palmer, even Ben Chilwell and Raheem Sterling chip in. Now, as for Raheem Sterling, I think his days are numbered in real life, but in this game, he's actually still somewhat decent. So do you know what? Who am I to say don't play him? Robert Sanchez also keeps up the most clean sheets, which is really, really impressive. 128 goals scored in the league, over 700 shots, the fewest shots against at 181. The fewest conceded at 17, and also clean sheet wise, incredibly strong. So apart from the possession, which by the way, we still are very good in, we pretty much dominate every other stat line. I'm pretty sure, like, the most dribbles made, again, is very, very close. The pass completion is a little bit off the mark because we are having the old risky pass being taken. But the stats that you really, really want as the key fundamentals, like the defensive record, the goals, the shots, decent level of possession, we tick in every single box. And to help sort of explain that, we will go and look at the data hub as well. At 3.37 goals a game, 0.45 conceded. So again, really consistent numbers. It's not 5 goals a game, but also it's not too little goals a game. You're scoring enough goals. You've got a very solid pass completion there, actually, at 89%. You're having a lot of shots at the goal per game, which is really, really, well, it's a necessity. And also the tackle-in ratio is actually quite good. So you're doing everything to a very good level. We also go into the Champions League final against FC Bayern, and we put on a really, really good display. Now, this Chelsea team has got a lot of exciting players. Of course, they have signed a load of different talents over the past couple of seasons, and I think they are due a little era where they are going to be an incredibly very good team. Now, the bad thing for them is they've got teams like Liverpool who are obviously flying, and they've strengthened as well. So it is going to be a very good Premier League season next year. As a United fan, I don't think we've got a chance, but it's quite exciting to see these sorts of teams come together. And the way we're playing against a team like Bayern, who are no small team by the way, is absolutely incredible. Some of the play here, look at the pass and play. That stuff you can only dream of, and well, we're doing it for fun. So we also go on to win the FA Cup 4-1 over Liverpool. Now, to get to the final, we did have to get past Tottenham as well. Thought I'd show that for any Chelsea fans, because I know you'll be loving that. So it wasn't a spoon-fed way to the final, and we don't just win the final. No, we blitz it. As for the Carabao Cup, we are also going to get to the final here, off to Wembley again, and a little bit of luck there, but Nkunku finally gets the ball. Akanji, I don't know if he'd ever want to see that again. That is shocking defending on a very big stage to make that error. Now we're in the 56th minute with Reece James into Cole Palmer, back into Reece James. Again, Akanji, the man to blame. He is having a nightmare of a final, and Cole Palmer goes through, the former City man, and that's probably the one player I think they've got it wrong with, to be honest, of recent times. And all Man City can actually offer this entire game is a petty consolation goal. So no worry, it's great from Phil Foden, but it's only a consolation. That's right, we are going to wrap up a quadruple winning season with Chelsea. Of course, this is all about Chelsea, so we're only going to test with them, because if I go and test with PSG and we score 5 goals a game, that's not what you're going to get with Chelsea. So this is all about the Big Blues. It's about Enzo Maresca, and we are now going to go and break down that wonderful tactic. So lock in. As always, there's 3 tactics. Make sure you're sticking around to getting all 3, because we used all 3 in different game scenarios. So if you want these results, you need to get all 3, whether you download them or copy them, just to make that as a big disclaimer. Right then, over to the tactic creation. And by the way, if you do enjoy rebuilds, make sure you are coming over to the second channel, because that is Daily Josh. We're going to be doing a 10-year Chelsea rebuild in a couple of weeks using this tactic, with the aim of winning a minimum of 3 to 4 Champions Leagues. I've got a good plan in place, a very good tactic in place now, so make sure you are coming on over. Now, back home, you want to select Tiki Taka. I'm doing it for a YouTube video, so I'm going to use clean slate just so we can talk through the tactic. But again, back home, please use tiki-taka. But for me, create your own style. We are then going to load in a 4-2-3-1, and let's go over and get building. So the first thing you want to do is go down to the bottom left and go up to positive, because if there's one thing that Maresca does do, that is play some quite forward-thinking football. And do you know what? I'm not a Chelsea fan at all, but I actually quite like the system. I quite like some of the players. So do you know what, Chelsea fans? Take me in as one of your own. I'll happily be a Chelsea. I won't be a Chelsea fan, but I do like Chelsea. Going over to the player roles that aside, though, we are going to go over to a sweeper keeper who is simply going to be on support. By the default, he is going to be set to take more risks. Now, with this keeper, you can add the additional instruction of tackle harder if you want to get a little bit more out there, a little bit more aggressive. For me, I didn't really feel the need to do it, but I will say this year I have noticed a lot in this game having that instruction on. It can actually be quite useful, so it's an option. I personally didn't, but it is just a little added bonus that you could go over and do. When it comes to the right back, we are going to use an inverted wing back on support, and he is going to be told to take more passing risks, dribble more, and also mark tight. So naturally, he also will get forward despite not having that instruction on. You will see him drift up the pitch quite a fair bit, so you don't really need to also have that on because it is then a little bit overkill. When it comes to both of the ball-playing defenders, firstly, let's go and do both of them to the ball-playing role. They are going to share 3 instructions, and both of them are going to be told to do this: dribble less, stay wider, and also close down less. So the really good thing about these sort of instructions on these players is the thing that I will say, you don't really get caught out too much because they don't dribble with the ball, for one. So they don't really, if you don't really find them dribbling up here, then they sort of lose possession. They're very risk-free. And the fact they also close down less, they don't lunge into stupid challenges, which is why that tackle-win ratio is actually quite good. And that also has the bonus of, not going into a challenge, missing the ball, or picking up a pointless booking. So there are a lot of benefits to playing this way at the back. And at left-back, obviously, your Cucurella, or for this game, Ben Chilwell. We are going to use a wing-back on attack who is told to cross more, run wide, and also stay wider. So again, absolutely essential for providing width on the left-hand side of the pitch. Going up to the midfield, we are going to use 2 players obviously here. On the right hand side, we are going to use a central midfield player, but he actually is going to be set to support, so a little bit different from automatic, and he is going to have a few instructions consisting of take more risks alongside of dribble more, get further forwards, roam, and also move into the channels. So again, with this player, he will be getting forwards, he will be a bit of a risk taker, which is why next to him we are going to sort of calm things down with a DLP on defend, who is going to have 2 instructions of mark tighter and also tackle harder. So these 2 are the perfect mix. I do want to quickly say at this part of the video, if you are interested in getting all of these perks, it does include all 3 tactics today. You get a console and mobile version, but you get the whole year's worth of tactics. It is over 220, about 60-70 rebuild files, one-on-one tactical help, ad-free viewing, Patreon exclusive tactics, early access, priority in tactics, tactic tweaks. There's about 13-14 perks. Make sure you are coming over to the Patreon because we've got 30% off this month only. It's a record breaker month, so I thought, do you know what? Let's give back, drop a big discount, because that does mean you can also enter the £1,000 PayPal giveaway that gets announced in 8 days. So make sure you are coming on over and getting entered to that, because it's a good chance. Going up to the front 3, we'll do the striker first because it is super easy. It is just an advance forward simply on shoot more often. When it comes to the player behind him, the AM, he is actually going to be set to attack. Now, one thing we noticed in that game, Cole Palmer is not shy to get a shot off at goal. He's not scared to do that, so we're going to have exactly the same set of instructions here. Take more risks, dribble more, shoot more often, and also roam from position. Now, if you're not playing as Chelsea, you still can use this tactic, but if your AM has not got good finishing, please do not have shoot more often on, because you'll become annoyed quite quickly. On the left-hand side, we are going to use an inside forward on support, and he is going to be told to simply sit narrow. Again, perfect for the overlap and run for the wing-back. And on the right-hand side, we're not going to use a winger. We are going to use an inverted winger on support, who is going to be told to do this: cross less, get forward, and also sit narrow. And that is going to give you quite a fair mixture of player roles, player instructions that make up for a very, very, very good free-flowing 4-2-3-1 system that, of course, does take up a bit of a different shape actually in the game, but that is the formation on paper. Team instructions, we are going to go up to fairly wide. We're going to pass into the space. Final third, we are going to utilise low crosses while working the ball into the box. Cucurella, I want him overlapping, also while playing out from the back. The creative freedom, be more expressive. The tempo, obviously, has got to be set to higher, and the passing down by 1 to shorter. In transition, it is going to be the famous top 3 in counter press, counter, and distribute quickly, while playing to the centre backs, who will then typically find the deeper players, the midfield players, the wing backs, etc, etc. And lastly, out of possession, the higher defensive line, the high press, much more often, prevent, get stuck in, and also trap outside. But now, to the attacking version. And this tactic's important to have because sometimes you might need that little extra push to go and grab the goal. And just having this at your disposal in one click makes for a very, very easy gaming experience. So let's go through and run through it. So the goalkeeper remains the same. Both of the ball players now completely switch up. They're told to dribble more, stay wider, but also close down less. So dribble less gets scrapped, dribble more comes in. The wing back on the left remains the same. On the right-hand side also does remain exactly the same because they already are quite attacking. When it comes to the midfield, I actually opted to keep it exactly the same because we have made changes going forwards. For example, a shadow striker comes in on shoot more and roam from position. The inverted wing is now on attack on the right, on cross less, shoot more often, roam and sit narrow. Shoot more often is added to the inside forward, who now gets operated on attack, which again is a real big change, and the advanced forward does also remain the same. Now, when it comes to this, we are going to go to attacking, not very attacking, so again, another step being taken to really progress this tactic. In possession, we are still going to play fairly wide, we're still going to pass into the space, we're still going to have low crosses while working the ball into the box, but this time, we're going to make underlapping runs on the right, overlapping on the left, playing out from the back, shorter, the higher tempo, but this time the double up of run at defence and also be more expressive because I want to get as many players forward as possible. In transition, I'm not here to waste your time, we are going to roll with literally exactly the same setup because you can't really change too much. And out of possession there is one key change, that is the much higher defensive line, trap outside, get stuck in, prevent, and a maxed out trigger press. But now let's go through and talk about the defensive version, which just like this tactic has a use for going to get a goal, this is to defend and seal out a game. Now, if you're playing as a real weak team, you could even go into a game like this. But it is a lot different. It's a bit of a lower tempo, more dribbling, less time-wasting sort of vibe. The goalkeeper remains the same. The inverted wingback simply is just told to mark tight. The wingback on the left is simply supportive on the default. Both of the ball-playing defenders, both now are on dribble less and close down less, with the stay wider instruction axed. We then have a DM on the right on support, on tackle harder and mark tighter, a DLP on the left who does remain the same, an AM comes in on support, on pass it short, take fewer risks, cross less, shoot less, roam and move into the channels. An inverted winger on the right is told to cross less, get forwards and sit narrow on support. On the left, an inside forward on support, on sit narrow, and the advanced forward simply goes down to the default because I don't want him taking loads and loads of shots. The mentality also drops to balance, so again, quite a big change. We've also sort of compressed the team so that it is now on a standard attacking width. The final third is set to low crosses. We are still going to work the ball into the box. We still are going to play out from the back, but this time no real need to overlap or hit them underlapping runs. The passing all the way down to much shorter, which brings that tempo down to slightly lower. A little bit of time wasting, dribble less, and also be more disciplined. So we are going to be very controlling. We're also going to hit the counter press though, because there's one thing being slow and methodical when you've got the ball, that's fine, but I still want to have that element of urgency when we don't have the ball, hence why the counter press is going to be selected. We are then going to slow the pace down and play to the entire back line, and to wrap this wonderful third variant up, the standard line and a default out of possession to keep it nice and simple. And that is going to give you a base tactic to go into 80% of the games with. You've got an attacking tactic to maybe switch to if you're a goal down or draw a 0-0, you want to go and grab a goal, and a defensive version to, well, funny enough, defend and seal out a game. Hopefully you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. As always, guys, if you've got any videos you want to see, even if it's a rebuild, make sure you leave a comment below and we will make it happen. I'll be catching you in the next one.